What's up, YouTube? So in this video, I'm going to be covering day one of the inaugural USFL Draft. Um, I love these opportunities for athletes to prove themselves. I talked about that with the HBCU Combine and Legacy Bowl, and it's the same thing with this. I love the idea of having another league in the U.S. especially to give these players more opportunities to get seen and hopefully develop. Um, so I'm hoping this succeeds. I mean, based on track records with other leagues, it's not likely, but I'm hoping for it. But as you can see, this draft is a 35-round draft just because it is the first season. It is split up into 2 days. I am recording this almost at midnight, so day two will be coming. But right now, the only thing available is the day one picks. And as you can see, each round, it is set in stone, the type of position group you have to draft. So, let's go ahead and get into it. I mean, it looks like this website here has it broken down into like per team. So the Birmingham Stallions, Alex McGo, I think is how you pronounce it. I can't remember. I do sort of remember him from Florida International. I don't have a great memory of him, to be honest. But I do know of him. I'm not going to know the majority of these players, to be honest with you. And if I do know them, I don't remember them. I vaguely remember Jonathan Newsom. Same with Seth Thomas. Tay Hayes, I do remember. Lorenzo Burns sounds familiar. Brian Mills. I definitely don't know this dude, Jamar Davis Smith. I definitely don't remember him. But I'm interested. And here's the thing, too. Just because I don't know them doesn't mean they're not good players. Hopefully, they can show me why I should know who they are once they get on the field, because I do plan on watching the USFL. So, anyway. Clayton Thorson, I do vaguely remember him as well. Beyond that, I'm not really familiar with anyone on this team. John Yarbrough sounds familiar. Same with Will Likely. But beyond that, I'm not really familiar with anybody on this team. Chris Doom is a dope name for a defensive end, though. I will say that. That is the Houston Gamblers. The Michigan Panthers. This excites me, because they drafted Shea Patterson with the first pick of the draft overall, and I love that it was the Michigan team that drafted Shea Patterson. I think that's fun. Obviously, he was the Michigan quarterback for a good little bit, and oddly enough, I did a video on him when he was coming out of the draft. Wasn't really a big fan of him. He was a mobile guy, but not like a Lamar Jackson type of guy. Wasn't a huge fan of him as an NFL prospect. I thought he had a lot of mental processing to go. Unfortunately, it just didn't work in the league. But hopefully he can develop and prove himself here and get himself back into that type of position. I think he has potential to be one of the better quarterbacks in this league, so I think that's fun. And the fact that he's going to be doing it in Michigan, again, is really cool. Tino Ellis, the cornerback, I do remember him. Paxton Lynch, obviously, the Broncos quarterback. So, two pretty well-known quarterbacks for this team. Let's see. New Jersey Generals. Ben Holmes, who I'm not very familiar with. Bryson Young, I remember vaguely. Terry Poole, I remember vaguely. But DeAndre Johnson does interest me, too. He was the Florida State quarterback. I'm hoping he can kind of take that job. I'd like to see him play again. So we'll see how that goes. I kind of wish that Paxton Lynch would have been on one of these other teams as one of the few quarterbacks here with NFL experience. Because I would have liked to see him and Shea Patterson play, but whatever. The New Orleans Breakers. Kyle Sloter, not familiar. Donnell Green, I vaguely remember. Ike Brown, I remember. That's about it. Philadelphia Stars. Brian Scott, no. Vaguely remember Freedom just because of the name. And I don't remember any of these other people. But the Michigan Maulers, Kyle Luletta at quarterback. He was the Richmond quarterback. I do remember him coming out. I thought he was a pretty decent, backup quarterback prospect. That just didn't really work out in the league. He had a couple, I think it was some DUI type things back with his time with the Giants, unfortunately. Unfortunate. He did get with some other teams after that still, but hopefully he can kind of turn it around and get himself back in the league. I do think he has the traits to be a decent backup QB in the league. Isaiah Battle, I remember. Terrell Bonds. And that's it for that team. Hopefully, like after day 2, I'll know some of these receivers that these quarterbacks have to work with. The Tampa Bay Bandits is interesting. Jordan, is it Teamu? I can't remember how to pronounce it. But he was obviously the quarterback for Ole Miss, very mobile guy. Pretty fun player to watch. He also lit it up in the XFL, and he was doing really well before that ended. So hopefully he can continue to develop and get to continue playing the game he enjoys. And we'll just kind of have to see how that goes. Brady White also sounds familiar, but I can't place it. But yeah, that's pretty much my immediate reactions right now. I'll have hopefully a better idea of these teams once we have the rest of the picks in. But for now, I think this is a pretty good start. Definitely some players that I'm interested in, and like I said, hopefully some of these guys I'm not familiar with really show out and give me a reason to notice them. So, yeah, anyway, that's going to do it for this video. If you liked it, appreciate hitting that like button. Have any questions or comments in the comments down below. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.